tutorial on creating a pool scene asset. It's called a bucket or a tank, and there's two ways to do it. You could use 3D objects or 2D splines. We're going to start 2D splines, so we're going to use what's called simple NGon. There's a lot of ways you could do it, but NGon will allow me to default a number of sides, so I can go in and say do 12 sides. There's a lot of things you can do with the NGon. You can add circular fillets, make a nice smooth corner radius. You can make it circular. Anyways, there's a lot of keyboard entries too you can put in there. But ultimately, you want to make the base of the bucket with this NGon, and we'll call this bucket. This is a spline shape. So if you right-click right in the modifier here and go Editable Spline, you can select the spline, which is the entire curve, segments, each individual piece, and then the vertices. You can actually move all these too, and adjust them if you wanted to. So the bucket, what's really neat about Editable Spline, you can go into spline mode and you can actually go down the hierarchy in the rollout called right down here, called outline, and you can actually make a concentric copy out. Once you have that, Max has a number of modifiers. One of them cool ones called bevel, and I did some beveling earlier today. Just go to level 1, and you can actually set an outline for your bucket, and you can actually put a start outline, how you want to start it, and you can actually put in how many segments you want in the height, and you can do curve sides if you like. So what happens when you go into your bevel values and go level 2 and go out, you see how it curves out, so it gives you a nice curve bucket too. You can go out to another level, and you can change the outline and create a unique bucket for your pool. So that's basic shape. I would save at this point, so we're just going to call this bucket. And at this point, you want to collapse this object as a 3D editable poly object. So right click, convert to editable poly, and then what you can do is grab the edges in the base, and sometimes you can use a loop to go around. Sometimes it doesn't. Max doesn't do it, so you might have to select it manually. But what you're going to do is select all the inside edges in the bucket. Use a control key to select the edges, and Alt to remove. So I'm selecting the interior edges here. So what I'm going to do is collapse those so that it becomes one. Collapse those under the edit geometry rollout. There's a collapse, and then you'll have a base for your bucket. So that's the bucket tutorial.